All right, guys. Okay. Chalo. Right? You can move a little bit this side, Anna, so that I can see all of you. Yeah. So welcome to the first day of cost accounting subject. Okay. Uh, Before we start, let's have a brief intro of mine as well as you people. Okay. So let's get familiar, and then हम चालू करेंगे. ठीक है? Right? Okay. So first I'll introduce myself. So I'm Prasannakumar. Okay. I'm fondly referred as Pksir. Mostly final students know me. Okay. After a long time, I'm taking CA Inter. All right. Including your sir is a student of mine. Okay. Yeah. So, and I think 2 years back, if I'm not wrong. So, in final, I used to take SCMP, Strategic Cost Management and Performance Evaluation, which is costing. And since last 1.5 years, that subject was taken away and it was converted into self-paced online module where you'll write examination completely online. Okay. So it's not like a real examination, right? Okay. And after that, I've taken SFM. I took one batch in Kerala at that time. And after that, I shifted my focus onto stock market. Okay. So since 1.5 years, almost 10 to 12 hours a day, I was completely into stock markets. And even today, I'm doing the same. And now I'm again starting this. Okay. That's my flashback. Nothing more, nothing less. All right. And let's start with you guys. What's your name? Yukesh. Okay. So you're from? Oh, Tamil Varuma. Okay. Good. So you came all the way from Chennai to here. Fantastic. So you are from +1, +2 or degree? Okay. All right. You, Nana? Okay. From? Okay. Here. Right. All right. So you are also from degree, right? Foundation. Right. Fantastic. Okay. So you're from my region. Fine. You. Okay. All right. Fantastic. From? Okay. Local. Right. You. Okay. Okay. So you're good with English, right? Anything else can you understand if it comes in between? Hindi to chalega na? Right. Yeah. Okay. Right. So what about you? Just English, right? Really? How? Okay. Fine. Interesting. All right. Okay. So anyways, so today is our first session of this particular subject. Okay. Before I start anything with respect to this particular subject, let me get your mind ready. Okay. First thing is, when I was a CA final student or CA inter student for that matter, even I didn't believe that this will become my favorite subject. Okay. When it started, the journey was pretty bad. The reason is, those who have come from foundation and those who have come from degree, you'll have little bit of, especially foundation people, you'll have little bit of familiarity with respect to accounts. So it's just a continuation, right? So you feel comfortable. You do have an idea, and +1, +2 also you've read it, stuff like that. Second, same goes with the other subjects, law, this and all. Taxation, by default, it will be very interesting because you will be learning about tax laws and stuff like that. In general, the subject will be what? Interesting, right? This is one odd man out subject, costing. Okay. Because you're gonna learn from scratch, from absolute zero. Okay. And costing is that kind of subject where 90% it is analytical and 10% it has got something to do with your memory. You got it? So this is not a memory oriented subject. This is what? You need to have that analytical kind of a mind. So now you know why I love it. Okay. My personal opinion was, if you see taxes, law, all these subjects, you'll have certain boundaries, which means these are all the laws, these are all the rules laid down by certain people. Okay. And whatever we need to think and analyze, we have to do it within that boundary. So you don't have freedom, think and go beyond that. Okay. Within that, I have to apply my logics. Within that, I have to think. Got it? But costing and finance, especially costing, of course, there is another subject called financial management for you, and strategic management, both. Yeah. Especially costing, this does not have any boundaries. Okay. This has got nothing to do with law. The entire subject is purely based on common sense. You understand what I'm trying to say? So don't see it from your accounting perspective, or say, for example, your tax perspective, or, law perspective. This is totally a different breed. So you need totally different mindset, get to this particular subject. Are you getting me? Right? So, but if you can get it, I'm telling you, every time you solve a problem, I'm not talking about all the chapters, but majority of the chapters, especially there are certain chapters like marginal costing, standard costing, these kind of chapters, when you solve problems, you'll feel as if you're doing a Sudoku. That is the kind of excitement you'll get. Once you read a question, it will be like a puzzle, and then how to solve it, where to start, where to end, things will be a lot more exciting. You got it? Right? So have that fresh perspective. Okay. I'll take it slow. The reason why I do this is because this is a fresh subject for you. So we need to start from zero. So therefore, I'll take it little slow, and then slowly after 1 or 2 chapters, we'll try to increase the pace, and eventually we'll move on. Got it? But trust me, if you're of my kind of a mindset, you'll love this subject, and you're getting the best. The best for the subject in the country right now is Pksir. There's no doubt in that. You got it? Yes? I'm not blowing my own trumpet, but that's the fact. Anyways, right. So now, what are all the materials that you're going to have? Okay. First, you'll have something called workbook. What is that? Workbook. So workbook means you'll receive a hard copy, which will have only questions, no answers, nothing doing. Okay. From each and every chapter, from your ICA sources. I don't go out of it. Let's try to keep it simple. Every single problem of your ICA will be covered in that. You get it? We'll have only questions. So this is one material that you'll have, right? Now, material number 2 is what is my signature material, which we call it as Power Notes. You got it? There is a reason why I call it Power Notes, which I'll explain later. Right now, another material that you'll have is Power Notes. So what is this Power Notes, sir? This is handwritten notes by me. Completely handwritten. Whether it is 300 pages, 400 pages, 500 pages, everything will be written by me. Nobody is going to type it. So what I do in this Power Notes is, I go page by page of your ICA material, and then I analyze each and every sentence. Where I have to simplify, I'll simplify. Where I have to convert that into a pictorial diagram, I'll convert. Where I can convert that into a chart form, I'll convert. Where I have to simplify it and eliminate certain things, delete certain things, I'll do that. Where I have to add some examples, I'll do that. Where I have to give a different perspective, more explanation, I'll do that. So everything will be customized, and it will be particularly written by me. The reason why it has to be handwritten is because I can't keep a typewriter and do all this stuff. Then me and the typewriter has to sit together for at least half a year. Only then it will work. You got it? Otherwise, he has to convert what are all the thoughts that is there in my mind into that particular thing. So that's not going to happen. You got it? So this will be, of course, printed, and it will be made available. Not now. It will take time. Okay. Meanwhile, what we'll do is that when the class happens, you got to take notes when I ask you to take notes. Is that clear? But at the end of the session, or when we are nearing the end of the session, you will get this particular book, which is getting ready. It will go. The process will move on. Right? And the third thing is, it's part and parcel. It's not part and parcel of Power Notes. We're going to solve problems together in the class. We have a workbook, right? You have problems and questions in the workbook, and that will be solved in the class. You and me together. You got it? Sometimes I'll solve first, I'll explain, then I'll ask you to copy. Sometimes we'll do it together. You got it? Right? So, workbook where you'll have questions. I think this you'll get tomorrow or day after tomorrow, within 1 or 2 days. Okay. Next is Power Notes. This will take time. This is purely concepts and theory. What you'll have in Power Notes? Concepts and theory, right? Explanation, everything A to Z will be there. Now you'll see. Anyway, once we start the class, you'll understand, right? And the third one is solutions for problems, which we'll be doing it together. So that's gonna be your notes. It's not a kind of material. You got it? Is it clear? Right. Fantastic. All right. Now you know that this paper is for how many marks, Nana? 100 marks. Okay. So I've done this work for you. As you can see, I've taken all your question papers all the way from where? May 2018. All the way May 2024. Once November 24 is done, we'll do that also. Okay. I've analyzed each and every chapter. All right. How many marks it has come? You got it? It may seem to be one page, but it took me almost like 3 to 4 days. Lot of labor, right? Anyways, now, so if you can see here, we have approximately how many chapters, Nana? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. How many chapters we have got? 15 chapters. Okay, 1, 5, right? In this, if you can see, I have underlined these chapters 1, 2, 3, and 4. What are these 4 chapters? Very important chapters, sir, isn't it? Like this, you should not think. They are the most unimportant chapters. You got it? The rest of the chapters are important. Okay. Hamara class will be like this only. What you think will not happen. What you won't think will happen. You got it? Enappa? Right. You get it? Fantastic. Right. Anyways, and class has to be interactive. I have a very bad habit. I keep eye contact. So if you don't understand also, I'll understand. If you understand, that also I'll understand. If you act like you're understanding, that also I'll understand. Basically, I'll understand everything. You get it? This you understand? You understood this? Right? Because I have got how many years of experience? Any guesses? Why, Nana? We'll go to Silver Jubilee also. 25, 50, right? Okay. So, I cleared my CA in 2012. Okay. At the age of 21. Got it? I think at 20 and a half, if I'm not right, at the time. Right? CA and CS have cleared. I think 6 months down the line, I went into a company, came back. After that, I'm completely into teaching. Okay. So I can easily guess. What I can guess? What you guys are thinking? Don't think that we are Gen Z. I can understand Gen Z. You got it? What did you get? That I can understand. Right, Nana? Fantastic. Okay. All right. Now, so I want the session to be interactive. So when I talk to you, you have to give expressions. You understand? I ask, Nana, did you understand what you should say? Some expression. You got it? Right? If you don't understand, yeah. Question mark expression, whatever it is. Chalta hai, right? But at least I need interaction, right? Some batches I will find certain students. I still remember. If I ask, Nana, did you understand? Nana, you didn't understand. What the hell is going on? You know, just like some heroes, same expression. At least they're getting remuneration. Here you are paying. You know, it doesn't work. So give some expressions. Let's interact. Sometimes the concepts will be very complicated and stuff like that. And I know that you guys are getting what? Heated up, burned up from inside. I'll do something to cool you down. Don't worry. You got it? But you got to stay with me. Yes, everybody. கேட்கல. So meanwhile, I'll be using multiple languages in the class. I'll use Malayalam, I'll use Kannada, I'll use Telugu, I'll use Tamil, I'll use Hindi also. That doesn't mean that I know all of them, but I'll use. You got it? So you have to what? Respond. If I say Manaslayo, what you'll do? Nonsense. You'll say Manaslayi, sir. What you'll say? Manaslayi. If I say Purinjida, what you'll say? Purinjidu. Alright. You got it? If I say Gottaitra, what you'll say? Aitri, sir. Alright. You got it? Always there should be interaction. Got it? Fantastic. Anyways, so our entire syllabus consists of 15 chapters for us. So we're gonna start with the basics. What is the basic chapter that we have got? Intro to CMA, Cost and Management Accounting, Introduction. So that only, I think, approximately will take today, tomorrow. We'll go with still introduction. Slowly we'll move on. And as you can see, this comes under not so important chapter, right? From exam point of view with respect to the marks. But the problem is, unless you know this is the foundation for all these chapters. You got it? Which means if I can't understand, basics in your accounting, can you feel it? Basics in your accounting. Yes, if you don't understand that, can you build the rest of the accounting? Same logic goes here. So purely from examination perspective, yeah, that's not so important. But from subject perspective, it's the most important chapter. You got it? We'll take it slow. Don't worry about that. I'll give you lots of examples. We'll take it slow. We'll take it interesting. But I want 100% of your effort. You got it? And if you're not concentrating or something is going on, I will know. Then I may ask you something. You see? So if you don't want me to ask you something, what do you have to do? Concentrate. Is it better to concentrate or is it better to give me an answer when I ask something? Which one is easy? So that's a sweet blackmail, Yes? Tell me, Nana. Where is the energy? Just now you had lunch, right? Where are all those carbohydrates? Digested, huh? Let it come. At your lunch? Then it's bad for me. Hereafter, whenever you have my class, you have a portion of stomach in your body, right? Is there or not there? Right. If this is the portion, depending upon us, individual personality, only half must be filled up. Remaining half, empty. Nothing will happen. Later we can eat. Okay. Otherwise, I know what will happen in the class. No matter how interesting the topic is, no matter how much I'm gonna shout from here, eventually you guys will. You got it? Can you do me that favor? Even if you get your favorite food also, if you want to eat, give that half to me. I'll eat. Okay? You should not eat. Only half stomach. Unfortunately, because our class is in the afternoon. You got it? Especially at this time. Saturday, Sunday chalta hai. Right? Respond, Ray. Good. Very good. Chalo. All right. So this is the thing. I'll just read the chapter names once. Just get a feel of it. You need not remember anything. Later we'll get to our first chapter. Ready? Okay. So what is this, Nana? Introduction to Cost and Management Accounting. What is CMA? Cost and Management Accounting. Fantastic. Second one, Material. The chapter name is Material. Third, Employee Cost. Employee cost, which is nothing but labor. Earlier it used to be labor. Now they are calling it as employee cost. So this is a shortcut. You need to understand shortcuts also, because that's how my power notes will be. Got it? And of course, the name power notes, I've used it when I was preparing for my civils. Of course, I've written civils. I went to interview and all that. That's a flashback. But the point is, when I was preparing there, I've used this term called power notes, where what I do is I take a huge chunk of material, I read it for hours together, simplify it, and then convert that into a very relatively smaller portion. Like for example, let's say 10 pages of material will be converted into 2 pages. You got it? Now I know you guys will be having one doubt. Then you can call it as a short notes, na sir. Why fancy term called power notes? There is a logic for that. When I convert those 10 pages into 2 pages in such a way that again it can be reconverted back to 10 pages. You get it? Because if you write 2 pages, you will not get marks. That is for our easiness, right? But we have to write the whole content. For that, again, it has to be reconverted. So that's why it is called Power Notes. You got it? It's very difficult to write, but very useful, especially for revision. We can do it pretty fast. You got it? Which you are going to get. Finally, your Power Notes hardly will be like this. Moreover, this much. Unless the GSM of paper will be very strong, then maybe it can become big. But the number of pages will be relatively small. Trust me, this will be your single savior the day before the exam. You understand what I'm trying to say? And that's why in CA final, I've become so famous in entire South India. You can just check with your seniors. The reason why I was almost number 1, the reason is because of this, something called Power Notes. Of course, costing is my area of expertise. That's a different thing. I've worked as a management consultant as well, which is your costing application areas in real life, where we give suggestions and strategies to what companies. I've done that as well. Okay, my CA firm is here itself, just 2 to 3 streets away. Okay, got it? Right, fantastic. Now coming on to the next one. What is the next one, Nana? OH. OH means overheads. Just get a feel of it. Okay, you need not remember anything. I'm just reading the chapter names. Next, ABC. ABC means activity based costing. That's one chapter. Then we have something called cost sheet. Say along with me. Say along with me. Okay. Next one, cost accounting systems. Next, unit and batch costing. Next, job costing. Next, process costing. Next, joint and byproducts. Next, service costing. Sometimes people will call this as operating costing also, but that's not necessary for us. Service sector costing. Okay. Next, standard costing, marginal costing, budgeting. Actually, the chapter name is budgeting and budgetary control. We'll keep it simple. You got it? Done? Okay. All this analysis is important for us once our syllabus is done. You understand what I'm trying to say? Right now, just get an idea, just get a feel of it, we'll move on. All these things we'll discuss later. Okay. Anyways, right now. Okay. So now we're going to start with our first chapter. So what is our first chapter? You know, what is that? Introduction to Cost and Management Accounting. So always what we'll have in our material, especially Power Notes, is that first we'll have a bird's eye view. So when I say bird's eye view, a rough idea of the entire chapter. Okay. And then we'll see one by one, we'll move on. Then what we'll do, we'll learn a concept. To understand the concept, then and there itself we'll solve a problem. Right? Immediately. Even that problem number, page number will be written in the Power Notes. So that tomorrow when you're reading the Power Notes, immediately you can go to that page number and solve it to get the clarity. You get it? Yes? Fantastic. After that, once the entire chapter is done, then all the other problems and MCQs will do it. Of course, you have MCQs. You get it? Which is a good thing for you to score good marks. You got it? Yes? Right. Fantastic. Right. Now, let's get with the chapter. So what is the first chapter? Introduction to CMA. And what are we going to see right now? Bird's eye view. Ready, Nana? Okay. What are all things that we have here? First one is, we're going to learn something called objective of CMA. What do you mean by objective? Why should I learn this particular chapter? There is something called cost and management accounting. What is objective? What is the objective of you guys sitting in the class? Pakka? Lock kar de? There is no other objective, right? Very innocent children. We used to have different objectives. Anyways, right. There is only one objective for you, to listen to the class and pass CA intermediate, right? Fantastic. Like that, what is the objective of this particular chapter? Why are we going to learn it? Yes? Fantastic. Next, scope of CMA. Scope means its tentacles, its roots will be there, right? How much it spreads. What is the total area of its coverage? That we call it as scope. Role and functions of CMA. This we'll see once we, function means it's a basic thing. What are all the things that it's gonna do, right? Next, uses, obviously. Use of IT in costing. Earlier it was not there. Now it has been introduced. What we are going to do? We're just going to use the technology. That's it. Now we are using technology for classes. Earlier it was not like that. Completely it was on whiteboard. That's not the case right now. Isn't it? Same stuff, right? Here, if you can see, the word is users, which means there are certain people who use this. You got it? That also we're going to see. Then the same stuff. What is cost object? Okay. What is a responsibility center? All these are complicated concepts we cannot discuss right now. So right now I'm just telling you that these are all the things that are present in this particular chapter. Then we have something called cost classification, which means classifying the cost. We'll divide the cost. How many types of cost are there? What are the different types of cost? How they are named? What are they? How they are useful? Get it? Fantastic. All right. So this is the entire bird's eye view of this particular chapter. So what is that we're going to see? Objective, scope, role and function, users, how IT is used in costing, what is cost object, what is the responsibility center, and what is cost classification, right? This will be very interesting. Okay. This is dry theory. See, when it comes to theory, okay, I divide theory into two types. One is dry theory. The other one is conceptual theory. You get it? So conceptual theory is that theory that is needed to solve the problems, that is needed to understand the concepts. Yes. Whereas dry theory is a routine theory that we'll study usually, right? You can see the name itself, objective of CMA, uses of CMA, scope of CMA, role, functions, that, this, and all that. This is not that much useful for us for solving sums and developing a base to understand the other chapters also. Not that much. It is there in the syllabus, so we're going to learn. You got it? And dry theory will be boring. There is no doubt in that. It will be boring for sure. But this will be lovely. What? Lovely. Which one? Conceptual theory. You'll love it. Or I'll make you love it. Okay. So it will be very interesting. I'll always take the real life examples. Yeah. You have to do on a bit of homework. What work? Don't give me puncha saying that I stay in hostel, sir, which means it is hostel work. Very lame joke. Okay. The point is, wherever you stay, residence work. Now, what is the residence work? Once you go home, you're going to learn about automobiles. Automobiles means what? Bikes, cars. That's enough. Okay. Right. Now, which means what, sir? How many bikes are there right now? Don't go to international market. Hamara India to zyada hai. ठीक है? In India, what are the bikes are there? How many companies are there? You have Royal Enfield, Honda, that, this, and all. How many models are there? What are their prices? Basic idea. What is their power? What is their torque? Basic things. Same with respect to cars. The reason is, once we go into the subject, to explain you some intricate concepts, I'll link it straight away with a particular car in the industry, a particular bike in the industry, a particular company in the industry, so that you'll remember it quite a bit easily. You got it? Now, once I start talking about some particular bike, let's say Royal Enfield, or let's say Java, and then I take a particular model, or Honda Activa for that matter, I compare it with Jupiter, and then I talk about something, and then you are like, is there a bike like that? It doesn't work for us. I can't explain the bike and then explain the concept. It doesn't work that way. You get it? So what you guys do? Just do it. Just like a hobby, just like a time pass. You will have reviews, na? In Telugu, you'll have reviews. In Tamil, you'll have reviews. In English, you'll have reviews. Hindi may be here. Okay? Just go through the YouTube channel. Some fellow would have posted. Let's give some views. All right. You get it? But you got to learn as much as possible. You learn. How much you learn, that much it will be easy for you to understand the examples that I give in the class. You get it? And that will make subject lovely. You understand what I'm trying to say? Everybody? Right. Fantastic. Right. So this is your residence work. And you do it. Yes? Okay? Good boy. Now, coming on to our first question. We have already seen it in the bird's eye view. What is the first question? Yeah. Which means, why do we need CMA? Sir, already we are learning so many subjects now, sir. You are actually very lucky people. When we studied, we used to have 8 subjects. How many you have got right now? Lucky boys and girls. And even in final, you have got, we used to have 8. Forget about having 8. Our maximum pass percentage used to be 2 to 5% when we studied. Now, bare minimum, it is double digits. Triple digits, it can't go. Mathematically not possible. Okay? Double digits only. You got it? So, everything is good for you. No problem. You get it? Fantastic. Right. Now, why do we need CMA? When it comes to current business right now, whatever the business that is happening right now as we are talking, the business has just gone global. It's been so many years since the globalization has come, correct? Earlier, what used to happen? Say, for example, Bajaj is making Chetak scooters once upon a time. When? Once upon a time. Okay. What is happening? What was happening? There was something called Chetak scooters, you know? You have any idea? There used to be a scooter. At least you should see some. That's why movies based on past time should come so that you'll understand what kind of things were there. There used to be Chetak scooters. Scooter will be there. Just like your scooty. You know, just like a scooty. But it is a bit heavy. It will be bulky at the back. And it never starts. So what we used to do is that we used to, slide it down and then we used to give it a kick. It's a good exercise. That's why people used to be very slim at that time. You got it? What did you get? Why they were slim at that time? That they were Chetak scooters. When? Once upon a time. Right. Fantastic. All right. Now, so at that time, Bajaj was just manufacturing Chetak scooters. And Chetak, they were selling to India alone. So business was relatively simple. I make here, I manufacture here, I sell here. Then it's a matter. Over a period of time, what has happened? The market has got opened up and they started selling scooters to the other countries and we started importing scooters from other countries. After that, it became even more complex. Now, if you take your iPhone for that matter, it is designed in one continent, and then it is assembled in another country and then it is sold here. Of course, now certain apples are even assembled in India. But what I'm trying to say is business has become much more complex once it has become global. Because of globalization, this has become complex. And as a result, once it becomes so complex, for example, you take iPhone, where are they getting their display from? Samsung. Which means how complex the business model will be when you're getting a display from your competitor and then your competitor makes a profit out of it and then he's again a full-time competitor for you in terms of phones. So then getting that cost right, and then because unless you calculate the cost of a product, you can't fix the right selling price. In that case, you see, the business doesn't work. Suppose your costing went wrong. What will happen? Everything is gone. It's not loss. You don't know whether you have got profit or loss. It's a blind area. You got it? Or you might be thinking one product you have actually got profit, but because of wrong costing, actually it will be making loss. And another product you might think you have earned loss, but actually it might be making profit. And then just imagine, because you think you are making loss of a product which is actually making profit, and then you try to discontinue that. It's a disaster. Again, a disaster. You got it? That's why this whole chapter, this whole concept, this whole subject is pretty damn important. You got it? All right. Any company must fit into 3 competitive dimensions because of this globalization and because the business has become complex. 1, cost leadership. 2, product differentiation. 3, niche segment. Now, what do you mean by that, sir? Now, listen carefully. We'll take an example. Nana, what's your name? Divija, right? Divija, correct? Pronunciation is right? Okay. Anyways, I'm a Gajni, Nana. I'm not Gajni. I'm father of Gajni. So thereby I'll forget. You have to keep on what? Reminding me. Don't ask me how did you pass all these professional exams. I also don't know. right? Anyways, now, so Divija, let's say you want to start a business. Okay. What business will plan? Always it's mobile phone, 24/7. Nothing will come to your mind, isn't it? Care, we'll take something interesting. Hmm. Huh? Jewelry? No. Tissue box will take. What will take? Tissue. Okay. Because I can see it right here, so it will be easy for us to understand. Okay. Tissue. Okay. Now, already there are lots of companies which are selling what? Tissues. So you are also starting another company. Naturally, the thought process will be, why should I buy? Even you will also be thinking the same, isn't it? How can I make my product sell? Now, basically, there are three unique ways of making your product sell. The first way is, suppose this is Apollo's, right? Apollo's tissue, it is, let's say this is available at 78. I'll manufacture tissues in such a way that I can sell it for 60 rupees. You got it? Lesser price. Thereby, what you'll do, let's say we are customers, what we'll do? Okay, same quality, presuming that the quality is the same again. Okay, presuming that quality is same, 78, 60. I'll buy 60. So this is one strategy for you, isn't it? Which we call it as cost leadership. Got it? Pretty simple. The other strategy is, okay, I don't want to make it cheaper. I want to make it different, special, right? So maybe let's say you're having, maybe this is not so eco-friendly tissues. Let's put it that way. Maybe we'll make something called eco-friendly. We'll advertise that. And people, because of that, they will buy. Environmentally conscious guys, they'll buy for sure. So now you're making your product different, sell it. Same goes with Apple, isn't it? A well-known example is Apple that everybody knows. Why do we buy Apple phones? One of the major reasons, okay, in India, it's a different reason. Let's keep it aside. What, Ray? In India, it is for selfie purpose. Okay. But generally, why people buy Apple? For example, I've got MacBook Air here. Why did I buy that? The reason is it's pretty light and it's easy for me to carry and it gives a great battery. Okay. Moreover, that's with an M1 chip. It's been a long time since I've bought it. It's fast. So when compared to competitors, logically there is a good performance and easy to carry rather than having a big bulky, laptop. Differentiation. All the points that I've talked right now is differentiation. You get it? So I can make the product different and I can sell. You got it? So that we call it as product differentiation. And then you see something over here. What is this? Niche segment. What is that niche segment? For example, you have Bugatti cars. You know Bugatti? Bugatti cars. Each car will be around $10 million, $20 million. No, it's okay. I've got examples for you only. In women's shoes, eco-friendly shoes, orthopedic shoes. Now let's say you have something called orthopedic shoes. Is it for every customer available over there? No. It is for a particular niche segment. Nobody else will buy. So the market itself is very small. That we call it as a niche market. Okay. For example, I gave one more example over here. BMW CE04, CE02. What is this? Nonsense. It's a bike. I told you in this class, whatever you think will not happen. It's a bike. This was launched, if I'm not wrong, 4 days back, 4 or 5 days or 10 days back. This is an electric bike. The CE04, it will cost you somewhere around 10 to 15 lakhs. It's getting imported into India, electric bike. And this will cost you around 4 lakhs. It's because it is assembled in India, BMW CE02. Okay. This, if you see the bike, you'll understand. I don't have internet, otherwise I should be able to show you. Otherwise, because only if you see the bike, you'll understand why it is a niche segment bike. The design of the bike will be like this. Your seat will be like it's a very narrow one. It's like a bench seat. It's not like normal seat. And if you see the design of the bike, you'll understand that it is for a niche segment. Once you go home today, just verify. Just Google it. If you have your phones, you can Google it. You'll understand what I'm trying to talk. You got it? Yes? Okay. Vegan face wash and all those things. Anyway, now people are loving animals very much. But they don't want deer to die because of tiger. And then they switch off the TV and then they eat chicken. That's a different thing. Okay, so the point is people are loving animals. What, Nana? Yes? So therefore, there is something called vegan face wash. That's also a niche segment. Because everybody won't buy the same. Almond milk, latte. Yes? What yes? Don't try it. Not good. Anyways. Now, moving on. In this, you have 3 different things. Okay? How you can sell a product by making it cheap, by making it different, by making it ultra different, which is what we call niche segment. Okay. Apart from that, where costing is useful to the maximum extent, it's not like in other areas it will not be useful. It will be useful, but where it will be useful to the maximum extent is what, Nana? In cost leadership, because here the entire focus is to reduce your cost. Whereas in the other areas, even if the cost increases, chalta hai, because anyway we are trying to make the product different, so there is no need for us to match the price. Let's say competitor is selling at 78. In that case, the tissue example which I gave you, I can sell it at 100 also. I'm not really worried about the cost over here. It's not like I'm not worried. I'll take into consideration cost. I'll apply all those things, but not too much of importance will be given to the cost area the way you will give it in case if it is cost leadership. You got it? Everybody? Fantastic. Okay. Now, so that's the basics. Now let's come to the key terms in this entire subject. It is not just for this particular chapter, but for the entire subject itself. First one is, what is cost? What is cost? Expenditure is nothing but cost. You got it? All expenditures are cost? No. For example, your name, Nana? Huh? Hassan. Hassan is there. Walks on a road. Something happens with Hassan. He sees like this. Takes a 10 rupee note. Throws it away. Is that an expenditure, Hassan, for you? No. Means it's an expenditure, but it cannot become a cost. The thing is, when you spend something, it doesn't become cost. It becomes an expenditure. When you spend something for something, that becomes cost. So all expenditures are not cost. It should have a purpose. For example, if I'm manufacturing a product, I do lots of expenditures, this, that, everything. But every single expenditure that I make, whether I'm paying rent or I'm paying electricity or I'm paying salaries to workers or I'm buying some material or I'm buying a machine, I'm running a machine, whatever it is, I'm setting up the machine, every single bit of expenditure will have a purpose. What is the purpose? To manufacture a particular product and then eventually sell it. Now, because of that purpose, these expenditures which I've incurred will be termed as cost. So the keyword here is purpose. Just like that, some expenditure you're incurring without any purpose, just like a random stuff, random expenditure, and then you cannot call it as a cost. Clear? Everybody? I want energy, Nana. Yes? One more thing. See, there's a movie called Adi in Telugu. You know Adi movie? Don't know? Junior NTR. It's a second movie. In that, there will be one principal character. Principal character, no. Principal for that particular college where Junior NTR will be studying. He has got this habit. What is that? Every day, anybody comes, they have to say, good morning. Till they say, he'll not leave them. He'll keep on following. Wherever they go, he'll go. You got it? So like that, I'll also, if you don't respond, I'll become that guy. then what will happen? I'll also touch it. You got it? I'll keep on saying, come on, come on, come on, like that. You have to what? Participate. You have to show the energy. People who are watching the video also, same logic applies to you. Although I can't see. Right? Anyways, now, so you know what is cost? Expenditure for a purpose. Generally, that purpose will be to manufacture a product or provide a service also. Yes? If you are manufacturing, I mean, you're not manufacturing anything here. Are we manufacturing anything here? Don't we have expenditure with a purpose? Then do we have a cost? But we are providing service. So, expenditure incurred for any purpose, whether it's a manufacturing for a product or providing service or rendering service, it will come under cost. Coming on to costing. What is costing? Now I said expenditure incurred for a purpose of manufacturing a product or providing service is cost. Now the question is, how to find that cost? Hassan says, sir, here you incurred 2 rupees, sir. Add, sir. Sir, multiply, sir. Sir, divide, sir. Sir, do this, sir. Sir, finally 10 rupees is the cost, sir. That process of finding out cost, we call it as what? Costing. Okay? It's not a genie, na? Hey, cost, please come. Means my cost is 10 rupees. Like that, the cost will not say. I know it's a lame joke, but anyways, the point is, cost will not automatically say that this is the cost. You'll keep on sleeping and that we have to do something to find out the cost. And that's something that we do to find out the cost. We call it as costing. Got it? Cost accounting. All these things that we have done has to be on the paper, right? Account it, do the accounting part, or it may be in system also. That we call it as cost accounting. Everything put together, we call it as what? Cost accountancy. So that comes under, it's like an umbrella under which everything will come. Sir, I'm trying to find out cost. I'm trying to account the cost. The whole thing comes under cost accountancy. With the help of all these things, sir, I'm trying to find out cost. I'm trying to account the cost. Why? So that I'll eventually know this is the cost of a product which I'm going to sell. And then I'll see, okay, fine, the cost is too much high. Okay, how to reduce this cost? Then I'll do something, I'll reduce the cost. Then I'll do something, I'll control the cost. Everything put together comes under cost accountants. Clear? Simple. Okay. Now, what is the next heading? Objectives of cost accounting. Objectives means what? Cost accounting means this one. Okay. Let's see. In my class, 2 things are mandatory. Chalo, think it off as a prerequisite for Pksir classes. 1, automobile knowledge, bike and cars. 2, like that. So these 2 knowledges are very important. Only then you will be able to synchronize. Otherwise, it will be like, chalo, वो तो कुछ बोल रहा है, ठीक है, बोलने दो, तकलीफ लगा. It doesn't work that way. You got it? Anyways, now, what is the next one? Objectives of cost accounting means everything we are trying to account it. We are trying to put it on a paper in a format, doing so many things. Why are we doing it? What is the use of it? And that's what we're going to see here. Objectives of cost accounting. What is the first one? We put like this: material 10 rupees, labor 2 rupees per hour, 4 hours, so 4 into 2, 8, overheads this much, 2 rupees, something we are adding. Why are we doing all these things? To find out cost. Now, what do you mean by finding out cost? Let's try to dig deeper. Okay. Accumulated, assigned and ascertained for each cost object. Now this is a little bit complicated. If you want to make it simple, imagine that this is not there. This word is not there. Instead, you have this word. Now you read the entire sentence. Accumulated, assigned and ascertained for each product. Okay? Which means accumulated, you'll accumulate the cost, you'll assign it, you'll find out, ascertain for each product. You're trying to find out cost. Cost object can be anything. One of the cost object is product. That's what I've written here. So what do you mean by cost object? We'll see that later actually. See, here we're going to see it in detail. So right now, let's not get into detail. Okay. Right now, just the understanding is cost object can be anything. Okay. The example that I gave you right now is product. That's enough. That's it. Okay. That's it, sir. To find out cost, that's all. That is the only use. No. To find out selling price and profit. Unless you find the cost, how can you find selling price? Isn't it? Of course. Here, this is debatable topic. Like for example, in some markets, selling price is already fixed by the market forces itself. For example, let's say, you know that Royal Enfield is the king of the segment, right? Everybody buys Royal Enfield Classic. I'm talking about Bullet. Okay. Now, I want to compete Royal Enfield in the same area, which means I also want to bring a classic motorcycle with a vintage brand from 1970s or something. And then I want to compete with Royal Enfield. I want to get a market share out of it. So if I want to compete with Royal Enfield, who is already king of the segment, is my selling price already fixed? Yes or no? I can't sell at any price more than what the king of the segment is already doing. And what people will do? They'll buy Royal Enfield. Because I've known that company already. I've already seen people using it for years together. The service is good. The network is good. Everything is fine. Why should I pay a premium and buy something that is new, which is not yet proven? It doesn't make any sense. You got it? So that's why this is a debatable topic, because sometimes selling price is already fixed by the market itself. It's not under my control. Some cases it is under my control. That is what I'm talking about here. You got it? I can fix. Suppose there is no segment. Say for example, this one. You take this. It's a new segment, niche segment. There's no other competitors like this. You see the bike, you'll understand. Right now, I don't have a picture. Okay. Just Google it with this name. You'll understand what I'm talking about. Why I'm saying that it is special. Now, this guy has got no competition whatsoever. It's a new segment that he has opened, which means what he will do, he will find out the cost, right? He will fix a profit margin is equal to selling price. You get it? So to find out the selling price, can I say it's an objective of cost accounting? Yes, in this scenario. Yes, everybody. Now, how much profit you will earn, that depends upon the investors, at what interest rate he has got the money, you know, a lot of factors will come into picture, whether it's own money or investors' money or whatever it is. You got it? Third one is cost control. What is this, sir? Logical. See, first you have found out cost. Let's say the cost has come to 80 rupees. Okay. You want a 20% markup on the selling price. Let's put it this way, on the selling price, which means the markup will be 20% on 100. So the selling price will be how much? 100. Or otherwise 25% on cost. 25% of 80 is how much? 20. Hello, your CA foundation. Okay. 80 is the cost. On the 25% is how much? 20. Right? Or selling price is 100. On the 20% is how much? 20. Either way. Okay. Okay. Forget about that. Cost is 80. Profit is 20. Selling price is 100. Done. So first I have found out cost. Then I have fixed profit. Then I have fixed selling price. That's it. Is my job done in a company? No. Why? You have to sell it. That will happen. Selling will obviously happen. But then this will start continuing. And then is there a rule that your cost will always stay at 80? Not even for a month it can stay at 80. Given the situations right now. There is something called inflation. A lot of things that can go wrong. You understand? For example, since last 2 years, especially post-corona, the car prices are increasing like anything. Okay. They are like going crazy. A 20 lakh car has become 25 lakh right now. A 10 lakh car has become 15 lakh. Reason, post-corona, the semiconductor, especially that's main chip, multiple semiconductors will be used inside cars. for all the electronics and stuff like that. That supply was very much limited because of Corona. And as a result, what has happened? That's why the waiting period also has got increased. If you can see last 2 or 3 years, if any of your family members have thought of buying a car, they'll understand. Earlier, this was not the case. Now they have to wait for 1 year, 6 months, 8 months, and stuff like that. Reason? Shortage. So when there is shortage, what will happen? Naturally, unless you have a predetermined agreement, which the vendor has to satisfy. Otherwise, he will increase the price for sure. Can you keep it at 80 then? If this can't be kept at 80 and then still you need the requisite profit, what will happen to the selling price? Now, if you increase this, just like that, the customers will accept in the market. You keep on increasing the selling price without controlling the cost. It doesn't work that way. You buy a product, after 1 month, again price increased. You ask the company, why did you increase the price? Company says, my cost has got increased. And company is doing like that every month. And you keep on buying at an increased price. Will you keep on doing like that? Customer will say at some point of time, get lost. So therefore, I have to also control the cost. Keep it under control. How do we do it? We have 2 chapters actually. One is standard costing. The other one is budgeting. Budgeting is also an indirect way of controlling the cost. Standard costing is a very complicated one that we'll see later. Budget I can explain now itself. Now just think, we have budget for our country itself, correct? Like that, we'll have budgets for companies also. Even for this organization over here, when they started this particular branch, they'll have a budget for sure. Now the question is, budget is nothing but estimation, isn't it? This much will be the expenditure. It's an estimation. You don't know what the actuals are going to be. Some of you might be thinking, sir, anyway, we don't know what the actuals are going to be. So let it be like that. Why we need to put a budget? You got it? Can we say something like that? Now I'll tell you the reason. Suppose, let's say you are coming here and you're studying all the way from a distant place, right? All right, just a second, guys. Okay, where will we? Don't say in the class. Please don't say in the class, okay? Yeah, budget. Okay, all right. Now, I said that budgeting is also an example of cost control. How is that? Let's try to understand. So he has come far away and he's trying to study over here. Let's say his father says, don't worry about the expenditure per month. How much you are going to, eventually spend, that much I will take. This is one scenario, one case scenario. The other case scenario is, father says, I can give you 10K per month. Now tell me, in these 2 cases, in the first case, he's not fixing any ceiling limit. In the second case, he's coming up with a ceiling limit. Right? In which case he'll spend more? The first case, naturally. Because there is no limit. You like something, you buy, you do something. Naturally, it will happen. Because we are human beings. Of course, if there is an exceptional case, like Kota Srinivas Rao in Ahana Pellanta movie. You know that movie? Don't know? It's a Telugu film where the character is very conservative. Conjus approach. He will not even wear towel. He'll wear newspaper as lungi and he'll sleep. Yeah. You got it? That kind of a character. Chicken biryani, you like? How you'll eat? What a joke, Nana. Memorable joke, Nana. With hand it seems. Very good. Now, how will you eat chicken biryani? You'll order biryani, everything will be there, you'll eat. Correct? In that movie, he'll put the chicken on the ceiling. That entire chicken is there, that bird. It will be rotating. Empty rice he will eat by looking at the chicken to get the feeling of a chicken biryani. Now, this is a perfect example of a conservative guy. Now, anyways, it's fantastic movie, Nana. So the point is, if you're a conservative, that's an exceptional case. It's an exceptional scenario. But I'm not talking about that. General, normal human beings. Okay. Definitely in the first case scenario, the expenditure will be more. In the second case, because there is a thought process imbibed into his mind saying that 10K is the amount that I'm going to give you, naturally, when he's trying to have each and every individual expenses, there will be an inherent thought process to keep the expenses under control. Yes or no? So, which means if I fix a budget from company's point of view or even for government, they'll fix budget, right? What is the major intention behind that? If I say this is the budget, naturally, when you go for actual expenditure, always that will be the figure that is there in your mind. Keeping that in mind, you will, without knowing, by default, you will start control your expenditure. That's why that also comes under cost control. That anyway we'll see. But the major part of a company where they'll control the cost comes under standard costing. It's a fantastic chapter. People say it is difficult. It's not difficult. Okay, because they buy hard, therefore they say it's a wonderful chapter. My personal favorite. Okay, we'll see that later. Okay, but the point is, these chapters are examples of cost control. For example, tomorrow somebody asks you, how do we control cost in a company? Your instant answer should be what? Through budgeting, through standard costing. You got it? If I ask you, how do you control cost in a company? Budgeting, standard cost. What is budgeting? Already the logic I told you. Yes. Standard costing is not that simple. Therefore, we'll see it at a later point of time. Yes. Fantastic. Now, moving on to the next one. What is the next one we have? Cost reduction. Name itself we have got. What is it? Reducing the cost. I think you know the difference between reduction and control. Say, for example, let's say this tissue box is there. Now, this tissue box, what is the selling price is 78. Let's say the cost is 50. Okay. Now, I'm trying to control the cost over here, which means I'll do standard costing. I'll apply those principles. I'll do budgeting. There's so much I'm doing to ensure that the cost stays around 50. Maybe a little bit of minor fluctuation will be there. Like, for example, it may become 51. It may become 49. Okay. But eventually, I'll ensure that it stays around 50. What am I doing right now? Controlling the cost. Let's say I do something. What is that something? We'll discuss later. I do something. I reduce it all the way from 50 to 40. What did I do right now? Reduction. Now, this is permanent in nature. Why? Because I've reduced it permanently. But whereas in cost control, you're trying to control the cost. You may succeed in trying to control the cost, or you may not. Or this particular quarter, you have succeeded in controlling the cost. Next quarter, there is no guarantee. You understand the point? That is the basic difference between cost control and cost reduction. That's what I've written here. Real and permanent reduction means once you're able to achieve it, it's not easy. But once you're able to do it, it is permanent in nature. And it's costlier also, obviously. That we'll see later. You got it? So, this is easy and temporary. This is difficult and permanent. Got it? I gave you example over here. VCA means value chain analysis. Okay. And I've divided that into two. One is value added activities, other one is non-value added activities. This is very technical. Actually, in CA final, we'll discuss this almost for a period of half an hour. That sort of a concept this is. But it is just given as an example in your ICA. That in the first chapter in costing, where you're about to know the basics of costing. Okay. But anyways, ICA is ICA, JICA. Okay. What, Nana? ICA is not JICA, ICA only. Right, Nana? What to do? Let's follow. Now, so I'll just give you a basic idea of what is this, Value chain analysis means, say, for example, you get a raw material. Let's say you see this as a time scale. Okay. I'll try to draw a diagram so that you'll understand. Here I'll add a page. Okay. All right. Okay. Now see here. Now, presume this as a time scale. Okay. It starts from here and it ends here. All right. Time scale means, let's say this whole time is 5 days. This is 5 days completely. Okay. Now we are manufacturing Royal Enfield bike in a factory in Chennai. Okay. Now what naturally happens? It starts with raw material here. You'll get the steel. You'll get, what all other things that you use for that seat, whatever it's, whatever that is required, the kind of materials, isn't it? Yes, electronic parts. You'll get all this materials first, and then there will be some employees. Yes, they'll work on this. First, somebody will be focusing on the tank part itself. Only the tank part. Okay. First, you will get the raw steel sheets will be there, correct? And then that sheets will be what? Compressed, molded. We call it as a molding. They'll press it with high pressure and what is that? There will be a lot of heat and pressure. They'll mold it and they'll convert that into a tank, whatever the shape it is, right? And then eventually it will be painted. And then if you see Royal Enfield bullet, standard bullet, there will be a stripe, the yellow stripe, which they do it with hand in Chennai. That process also will be done. And finally, the tank is ready. Now, this is the whole process. Yes. So, which means there are multiple activities that has happened. The, trying to mold the steel and then trying to paint the tank and then trying to put a stripe on the tank, and then finally, let's say, the Royal Enfield emblem that we'll put at the end. So multiple activities are there. In these activities, okay, let's see where value is added to the product. Now first, when I'm trying to mold with a machine with high pressure and heat that particular tank, is a value is getting added over there? Yes, because I need the tank to get formed. Then when I'm trying to galvanize it, of course, before painting, there will be galvanizing process. So let's not dig deeper. Okay. Yes. Let's keep it simple. When paint is happening, is there a value addition happening? Yes. When you're trying to pinstripe it, give that classic look, is there a value addition happening? Yes. All right. And then when you're trying to finally put the Royal Enfield emblem, there also is value addition is happening? Yes. All these are what activities? Value added activities, because each and every activity you're eventually adding value to the product. You understand what I'm trying to say? Suppose in between somebody is smoking a cigarette, a labor, and because of that 5 minutes, 10 minutes got wasted. And for the 10 minutes, you have paid him 1,000 rupees. Now that 1,000 rupees is an expenditure. It's an activity what he has done. Is there any value getting added over there? No. It's a simple example which I've told you. Technically, it will not be like that. Smoking will not be called as, because eventually that will not happen. That will go in the break. You understand what I'm trying to say? Let's say, suddenly machine has got some issue. A machine is running. Some nut has become loosened or something like that. And then eventually all of a sudden, still till that is fixed, all the workers, all of a sudden they're waiting. Now they're become idle. You got it? Otherwise they would have been working. Now still you have to pay them money. Now during this time where the machine has been that whatever the things that you're trying to set it right, and then eventually you have to what? Pay them money. But as a result of it, you're not getting anything. Now this particular activity, are we getting any value over here? No. Second, suppose your entire factory setup is in such a way that there is one department here, another department here, another department here. I'm talking about production departments. Okay. You have a raw material here in the stores department. You got it? And unnecessarily they're moving the raw material without a particular plan. I don't want to dig deeper. If I dig deeper, it will take half an hour. That much is not necessary for us. You got it? Yes. Now this unnecessary movement of raw material than what it is not necessary is also a non-value added activity, because you're not adding any value because of that. Unnecessarily, you're moving it. You understand the point? Suppose here there are employees, okay, and then they are working on machine. So they need all those instruments, the spanners, this and everything. They have to work on the machines, right? And they're not keeping it in an organized way. They're just throwing it away. And every time you need something, they have to search. Our local mechanics. Now tell me that searching time, is it adding any value? That's the point. These are non-value added activities. What I've told you right now. I can dig deeper, but I'm just giving you a bare idea. Are you able to understand? That's what. That itself is a non-value added activity that I'm saying. For every non-value added activity, it is not free for us. If it is free, why would we consider here? We'll ignore now. You understand what I'm trying to say? We are discussing about it only because it costs us money. You got it? Otherwise, we'll not even think about it. Got it? When I say non-value added activity, it is costing us money, but it is not adding any value to the product. That is the problem. You got it? Anyways. So that's the point over here. Okay? So that is what we call. So how do you reduce the cost? By eliminating this. Simple. You get it? Can we reduce the cost? Yes, we can. Obviously. You got it? Fantastic. Right. And this will assist in decision making. When I say decision making, what do you mean by decision making? Whether I have to manufacture a particular product or not. Whether should I sell this particular product in this market or not. Whether I should expand this particular product to another market or not. Whether I should add one feature to this particular product or not. Whether I should remove one feature from this particular product. All these are decisions. Right? When I'm taking these decisions, definitely I will consider cost reduction, which means indirectly I will consider VA and NVA. Indirectly. That's what is cost reduction, eventually. Yes, that is the reason. If you see the recent trend, that's why again and again I'll come to automobiles. That's the reason I'm telling you know about it, so that you'll understand the concepts. What? Better. Exactly. None of you will teach you like this because nobody has got practical knowledge in costing area. You understand that? CA can have a practical knowledge in accounts. They can have practical knowledge in access. You'll find number of them. Finding a CA having a practical knowledge in costing is near to impossible. You understand what I'm trying to say? That's why you have listened to my class right now, this introduction. You compare with anybody else, I'm not blowing my own trumpet, you'll understand the difference. You got it? There it will be like a bookish knowledge. Because there is no scope. It's not their mistake also. There is no scope. I had a scope because of my passion regarding that particular subject. You understand that? Get it? All right. Anyways, now. So to take these decisions, okay? What decisions? The decisions which I've told you. I was talking about an example. In recent years, if you see, the pollution norms are getting stricter, right? BS4, BS5, BS6. Have you heard about it? If a simple example that I can give you is, you go and see the silencer pipe of Royal Enfield bullet. The older bullets, the silencer pipe will be like this. The newer ones, it will be like this, and there will be a bulge here. We call it as a catalytic converter. The reason is emission norms. Too much of pollutant should not come. There is a rule because of BS6. So therefore, they filter it over here. You understand what I'm trying to say? Right? So basically what is happening, because of the stricter emission norms, the companies has to find a way to meet those norms. Otherwise, government will not allow. So what the companies internationally they are doing is, especially in case of cars, they're downsizing the engine. For example, the simple example that I can give you, which has recently happened is, do you know this car? I think it's been in the market since how many years here? 20 years something? 20, 25 years. It's a very famous car, right? In all these years, it was using a 4-cylinder engine. Okay? 1.5 liter 4-cylinder engine. Just understand. Later you'll go into technicals. Once you also do your research, you'll understand what I'm trying to say. Current generation, which has got released just 1 month back, they made it 3 cylinders for the first time. The reason for that is emission norms. Lesser the cylinders, lesser will be the pollution. But it's not good for us as a consumer. But that's what majority of the companies are doing. For example, even if you take Mercedes-Benz E-Class, which will cost you more than 1 crore, they're getting a smaller cylinder cars right now. Earlier, it used to be bigger engines, bigger cylinders. You understand what I'm trying to say? All these are decision-making process. What decision they're trying to make to ensure that we comply with the exactly government and that BS6, there it is Euro 5, Euro 6 emission norms. And then I have to take a decision. What are the features I have to remove? Okay, let's downsize the engine. And then they are adding batteries. They're making it a hybrid system so that the pollution will get reduced. You understand? Everybody? That's it. So finally, let's summarize. What are the objectives of cost accounting, Ray? First one, ascertaining cost, finding out selling price and profit, controlling cost, reducing cost, help in decision making. Assist means helping. You got it? One more time. First one, ascertain on cost. Second, finding out profit and selling price. Third, controlling cost, reducing cost, decision making. Just remember that. You'll easily get it. Got it? Now, please understand. In this particular page, this is just a small theory portion, correct? We have spent so much of time. We have discussed examples. We try to understand it. Why? Only this way you will remember what we have discussed right now for a longer period of time. Normally, what students do, you can check with your friends if you are in touch with them. Objectives of cost accounting, finding out cost, finding out selling price, profit, cost control, cost reduction, decision making. Gone. Or otherwise, they'll have some sort of a shortcut to remember, you know. But then it doesn't stay in your mind. Then again, you have to revise. Again, you have to revise. Again, you have to revise. You got it? So that's why always the right way is enjoy the subject, understand what is happening. For that, you need expertise. That's why you're paying now. Yes. You get it? Enjoy the subject. And that process of remembering subject should be easy. Why are we making it pain? You know? You understand what I'm trying to say? Why are we making it an effort? I have to remember this, study this, that, this and all. Just go with the natural flow. Try to understand, enjoy the subject, understand what's happening. Remembering will become a byproduct. Automatically you'll remember. You need not stress. Got it? Yes? Fantastic. Let's move on. Of course, I've already explained you this, but now let's get into this one more time. What is this? Difference between cost control as well as cost reduction. One by one we'll see. Cost control means complying with standards. Cost reduction means challenging the standard. His example. What was the standard given to you by your father? 10,000 rupees is the standard. Standard only, na? This is the limit for you. This much only you can spend. Cost control means compliance with the 10,000. Compliance with 10,000 means ensuring that you don't cross 10,000 expenditure. Cost reduction means challenging the standard. Means what? Chalo, you gave me 10,000. Chalo, I'll finish it at 8,000 itself. What? You're challenging the standard and you're making it much less. Got it? Next. Lowest possible cost under existing condition. Change will result in lower cost. What do you mean by this? Cost control means it is the best that you can do given the scenario. Now there are certain conditions that are happening right now. In this condition, whatever that I can do, this is the best. That is cost control. Cost reduction means you will do a magnetic change in that. You know, something will happen. There will be a change. This is as it is scenario. This is you will do something to change. Exactly. Got it. Next, emphasis on past and present. That is cost control. Emphasis on present and future is cost reduction. What do you mean by past and present? You will see the past. Last year, you will see how much is the money that he has spent per month. His father will see. And then he'll fix the standard present. You understand? Last year, chalo, you have spent on an average of 10,000. Okay. Now, 10,000 is your cost controlling target. In cost reduction, what will happen? Oh, now it is 10,000. Next month onwards, I'll pay you only 8,000. You understand what I'm trying to say? You are trying to reduce it from future perspective. So cost reduction is always today and tomorrow. Cost control will be yesterday and today. By looking at yesterday, today I'll control. Cost reduction is by looking at today, tomorrow I'll try to reduce even further. Yes, everybody. Right. This is preventive function. This is corrective function. Preventive means you're preventing something wrong from happening. What is wrong here? Going beyond your cost. Exactly. Increase in cost. That is wrong. You are preventing that to happen. Yes, so what? If 50 rupees is my, let's say this is my limit fixed by the management. I'm doing something. What I'm doing is a different thing. Of course, we are doing standard costing and budgeting, correct? We know the answer for that also. To control the cost, we need to do standard costing and budgeting. I'm doing all that to ensure that it doesn't cross 50. So I'm trying to prevent crossing 50 from happening. Correct? What about corrective function? Corrective function means already mistake would have happened. Means there is a possibility of keeping this cost within 45. But there is a mistake that has happened and now anyway it has become 50. Now let me correct it and bring it back to 45 and that is cost reduction. A corrective function. You got it? Yes, everybody. Finally, it ends when targets are achieved. There is no end for this. Means, suppose I have to keep it within 50. I've kept it within 50 by applying standard costing, budgeting, whatever it is. My target is achieved. At that moment of time, once your target is achieved, you have kept the cost within 50. Your job is done. Cost control, ho gaya. Done. Khatam. Tata. Goodbye. To whom? Metaphorically, I'm not talking about anything else. Okay? Right. Now, coming on to other thing. Here, there is no end. What do you mean by that? Array 50. Okay, 50 is there. We got it down to 45. Is there any rule that it should stop at 45? Chalo, yaar, I'll make it 44. I'll try to make it 43. There is no end for that. I can even try to make it 42. You got it? That's why I said no end. Very easy to remember. You got it? So understand the logic. Shall we see one more time? Right. Cost control versus cost reduction. Here you will comply with the standards. Right? 50, 50. Okay, I'll comply. Here, 50 will be made 45. Challenging the 50 and making it 45. Challenging the standard. Got it? Lowest possible cost under existing condition. Given the scenario, 50 is only possible for me. In next case, I'll do something. I'll change the machine. I'll change the part. I'll train the labor. Something I'll do. And then I'll try to what? Reduce the cost. Yes. Once you train the labor, your existing situation is changed now. Yes, everybody. Fantastic. Emphasis on past and present. Last year, oh, this much is the cost. So now this is the cost limit. 50 rupees or 10,000 in our example. We'll fix. Yes. How will you fix that 10,000? By looking at past only, na? Everybody. Last year, this much is the example for my son. Okay. Now, this much is the expenses last year. Na? Now I'll fix 10,000. Past and present. Present and future. Now the expense is 10,000. Next month, this much is not possible. Maybe some expenditure is there in your family. So your father says, I can fix it at 8,000. You are reducing the cost. You got it? For him, it is cost only now. Yes. Next. Preventive function. You are preventing wrong from happening here. Corrective, which means you are trying to reduce the cost. When there is a scope to reduce the cost, then the existing cost is wrong only now. Yes, everybody. So it's a corrective function only. Going by that logic. Next, it ends once targets are achieved. Just now I explained. 50 achieved. Ho gaya. Khatam. Tata. Here, 50 to 45 I have reduced. Still, I will try to first reduce. Why should you stop? Yes. That's it. Got it, Nana? We'll take a small break. What is the time, see? Take a 5-minute break, okay? After that, we'll again start.
Free audio post-production by alphonic.com.